So we are back with another SBC, and we've had a couple of nice ones. Not necessarily the biggest in the world, but we are getting there. I can imagine over the next couple of weeks we will start to see icons as well. The SBC for Heroes is coming out again. I can imagine that'll be the same for the icons, which is repeatable but not unlimited. So let's have a look through. We've got a big one this week with the foundations, as if you haven't been around, evolutions are totally broken, but we did get a double evolution or two evolutions for the foundations. You can either go for a doubler, so you can obviously put the same person in twice for some of the players, but they won't get above 86 as it is maxed rated, but you can give them an extra playstyle, just normal playstyle, and also some extra stats, which has made some of them at least semi-worth it. When you look across Footbin and you see the popular, we can go into the new foundations and you can see a few have been upgraded already kind of here. Watt being a great one for the Swanson, Morgan SBC, and then obviously looking in for Sophia Smith. You've got Salmon as a striker that can go in twice. She does have the Quick Step Plus as well, which is absolutely fantastic for the extra bonus there. So for me, that kind of adds a little bit of value to some of these evolutions for the squad foundations. I would personally go with Salmon as definitely, or Salmon. I'm assuming it's Salmon, to be honest. Would be very much in a must complete at this point if you are rocking some sort of squad there. And I'd say Watt as well would be fantastic with the Swanson SBC. Now we know Morgan is obviously going in the must complete, and I'd say Swanson, in terms of what she offers, she's fantastic. We do have multiple options with obviously Rodman as well, but I would say she's in a decent value. If you are finishing all three of them, then I would say she'd be in that must complete category. But right now, I think decent value would definitely suit her more. In terms of pricing for some of these SBCs, we've had a few decent ones. Obviously, we've got Di Lorenzo as the big hot topic from yesterday. If you need coins in FC25, lootbar.gg has you covered. They are the cheapest trading platform on the game, 8 to 10% cheaper than any others, 8% off if you use the code JT11 at the end at checkout, plus you get 5% extra on coins, with the fastest delivery system going, used by many FC25 creators such as Zorky, Manny Plus, and even pro owners. So if you need any coins, head over to lootbar.gg, make sure JT11's in the promo code, and hopefully you enjoy. And most definitely at 68,000, it's not a terrible card. It's got 3 SBCs to complete. You've obviously got an 84, an 84, and an 84. One needs an inform, one needs a Serie A, one needs an Italian player. So pretty standard across the board there. As a right back goes, it's not a terrible option. Now, when we look at the Serie A players, you've had Varane, you've had Godfrey, the 2 Turan brothers, obviously then Di Lorenzo in himself, and I think that is about everybody in terms of SBC. Just judging that I'm not missing anybody here. Kvaratskhelia, I suppose, he's one that I personally wouldn't say is worth the value. Everybody else has actually been pretty solid on their nose, really. But if you do look at right backs for the Serie A, it's a position that, other than your Mycons, there's not really anybody else there. You've got a Dumfries who could fill in a spot, but Di Lorenzo's an obvious spot for that one. Like, it's an easy one to go with. You're probably looking more towards a Shadow or Anchor, as you can imagine. A Shadow is going to make him controlled. A Anchor is going to make him controlled lengthy. Now, obviously, you can go 95 pace, 91 on the defending, or you can go 91, 90, 91. Both are very acceptable roles. 4-star, 3-star, pluses on his role pluses. I'd personally say if you're rocking a full Serie A team, very much like Swanson, he's a must complete. Like, of course he is. He's gonna imagine to get a evolution in the future as well. Whether he gets another upgrade anytime soon, I doubt it. So more than likely, this is going to be the best card we've got of him for at least a month or two, until maybe he gets another one. He could get it in form as well, but I can imagine that would be lower than the 86 anyway. So I would say that's a great one. All he needs is a playstyle plus. Now we kind of look through the rest of them. I still think most of these squad foundations are going to be just more SBC storage, because naturally with them, if you've only got one, well, you've got 2 spots for an evolution, or you've got 1 if you're doing a doubler. So if you're putting Salmon into it twice, obviously that's the only card that's going to get the evolution. It's good knowing that they're potentially looking at the foundation. So I'd imagine in the future we will get another spot and another spot, and it just keeps going. So that is very nice indeed, and especially because it goes over the overall. So for instance, this is the kind of thing that's broken at the moment, is the fact that you can get a plus 3 overall. So anybody 83 and 84, 85 will all go to an 86 as a maximum. That's the thing that's breaking the game, is these max ratings. They're apparently the big thing that they just cannot get right. So hopefully they do figure that out soon. But that is good knowing that maybe in the future we get a max of say 88, 89 in like a month or two's time, but it gives a plus 10. So it takes our 83 evolution, our foundations all the way up. So say anybody that's 85, it will make them into that 88. So that hopefully is where the future holds for the SBCs. Right now, I would say them two are going to be my two favorite spots really. If you've not got the American Dream, then obviously Salmon is going to be my next one I would suggest doing. We've still got a lot of the player of the months as well. We've got a few SBCs definitely going within the next couple of days / a week or so. Obviously, we're looking at the likes of Haaland. I'm surprised he's even in there. I know he's only got 7 hours left. But it seems like we've had Cole Palmer for quite some time now. So I don't know why Haaland got so much time. I don't know if it was just delayed. But we've obviously got 7 hours for Haaland. We've got 4 days for Thuram. Definitely get him done if you've got the other Thuram brother done 100%. But there is one thing with that. We are getting Ultimate Dynasties. So I imagine we will get the 2 Thurams and their dad all in that promo. So they will be upgraded from that previous player of the month. So it's just something to always know. If you've not done any of them, they more than likely are getting an upgrade. I can imagine the trio of them. There's not many son partnerships alongside their dad in the game as well. There's a couple, but not 2 sons most of the time. So definitely have a look at that. Obviously then we look a bit further. We've got the Liga F player of the month. Still got 14 days. Yamal's still got 11 days as well. Kvaratskhelia has got 20, Cole Palmer's got 18, and I think then we've got the brand new one from Omar, who's got 24 days. Very cheap, nice and affordable, but realistically, he's SBC storage at an absolute maximum. Kvaratskhelia is a hard one, because I must admit, if you are looking at the SBCs from the Serie A, other than maybe Leao, he's going to take that spot easily. Leao and Teo are the two in this team that are just absolutely nuts. So realistically, we've got 2 centre-backs with Godfrey and Varane. We've got Di Lorenzo as the right back, 1 Thuram brother in the middle, 1 Thuram brother at the top. You've then got Kvaratskhelia on the left. All we're missing is a left back, a right mid, and another centre mid, and then a goalkeeper. Goalkeeper is what it is. Go buy Mignan, whatever. Like, you can go get plenty of goalkeepers. That's absolutely fine. But that would lead me to believe, like, would you rather go for that? Would you rather go for the left-hand side being an SBC as well? If we kind of look on the Serie A, you've obviously got Leao at 460,000 coins still. You've then got Kvaratskhelia coming in at 233. Other than that, that's pretty much it. You're looking at them two as the options. So realistically, you either go for an 87 Kvaratskhelia, an 86 for half the price, or you go for the 85. That's literally 5k. So I would say in terms of that, that would make him kind of worth doing. But for right now, I'm personally going to say he's not worth doing, in my opinion. I think Thuram definitely is. If you've not already got like a Virgil and Saliba partnership, I'd say maybe wait on the SBCs, because there's going to be loads of icons coming out, loads of heroes. So maybe you want to wait for the fodder right now. But I do think Varane is very, very good for the price that you're paying. Like we said before, if he was only in there for a week, 2 weeks, maybe he wouldn't be the value that he is. But the fact that he's been there for a whole month, you could have grinded him out for a consistent amount of time. If Alex Morgan's in there, Varane's got to be in there as well. He's coming under 400,000. And realistically, what? You've got the 85, an 86, an 87, and an 88. Now, the 88's the only one really that's going to cause major issues there, because getting it for free or packing the 88 is going to be a lot more difficult with the lack of amount of 88s. But you could throw a Hergerberg in there. You could even throw a De Bruyne in there at this point. Courtois, Donnarumma. There's loads of 89s you could go in to make that 88 squad. So for me, I would say Varane is up there. With the rest of the player of the months then, I'd say Yamal probably isn't worth it. I'd say definitely the Liga F player of the month is just incredible value, 100%. Haaland at this point is 7 hours to go. I don't think he's worth it now anyway. I like him and I think he's a cracking card, but the partnership of Son and Griezmann, even Leao up front, has definitely trumped him. I've seen a lot of people take him out of their team in the past week just to replace them with better strikers already. I'm seeing creeping a few more Mbappes into the team, which always means good luck. Cole Palmer being relatively cheap, I don't think he's necessarily a starter in any means. He's great with a dead ball, but I would say he's kind of more just a builder for a Chelsea past and present, maybe even a cheap Prem team. He's a nice player of the month to get into the club. That's kind of about it, and he's cheap enough to be able to do that, to be honest. We still got Alex Garcia and also Danjuma, I believe. They should definitely be running out very, very soon, because they were like day one SBCs as well, especially Danjuma. He's leaving in 10 days still. Wow. So both of them have still got 10 days. So in fact, they're leaving when the season ends, which makes sense. So we will be getting more World Tour players. It'll be interesting to see what the next nation is. I can imagine France, Argentina, England, anybody that's either been to the final or won a final in the past couple of years. I can imagine they will be there in the next season. So it's interesting to see where that does go. And it doesn't have to obviously be the nation. Whether Danjuma was the biggest hint going forward and it's the Netherlands, I don't know. But most definitely, both of them are absolutely class. I would have said them must complete by now. Maybe looking at Danjuma a little bit kind of later on. If you've not finished him now, I'll possibly put him into just decent value. I think with Alex Garcia being 22k, he can rock a midfield pretty easily. Which leaves us with the rest of the Total Rush objective cards. So, in terms of them then, you've obviously got Sterling, who's I think the most expensive out of all of them at 251. You've got Iwobi as 52, which is great value for a card like that. You've got Gomez at 21 and the new Rutter at 181. I think they're all pretty good value, bar from maybe Sterling. Sterling's a bit of an unfortunate one because I just think he's had a massive English and Prem tax on him, and yet Iwobi hasn't. Again, it depends on what you're looking at. I think Iwobi is definitely into that decent value. I think Gomez would be into a must complete, in my opinion. For 21k, he's cracking value as well, but the fact that he might have the evolutions at some point relatively soon, that's a brilliant card. I'd even say the same for Rutter. For the same reasons, all we need is a Playstyle Plus. You know, with how they've been doing evolutions, once they're ready to shift into either more people getting Playstyle Pluses or maybe the double, there is going to be an evolution that doesn't give you no stat bonuses. It just gives you a Playstyle Plus. What would make that better is if it gave you your specific Playstyle Plus, whatever you wanted. Now, that will definitely break the game, so I can't imagine that will come, but that would be incredible for a 5-5 cam, even if he was to just get an upgrade at some point. Brilliant, absolutely brilliant. And that would put Sterling, for me, unfortunately, at the bottom of the pecking order. It just is what it is with him. I don't think he's worth 250, unfortunately for him. But in terms of what we've got in the Prem alone, is still decent value across the board. Let alone going for the rest of the team. Like, obviously, when you look at the likes of a Son, granted, a little bit expensive for the inform, but 330 on the left-hand side. A Rashford evolution, even Diaz coming in at almost the same price. An incredible card. Now, I don't think he's massively off the value. I just think what you've actually got with no Playstyle Plus, unfortunately, he's not going to be in my top 10 in that debate. But that's going to be everybody. Let me know down below what you think, and hopefully we do get player picks this time at 6 p.m. Praying. Peace.